Each Tuesday, the staff at FUUN gather together for their weekly meeting. This time is used exactly how you might expect: a chalice lighting, a check-in, review of staff covenant, updating and coordinating with one another about various projects and upcoming events, lifting the names of FUUN members for whom we are especially grateful for that week. But with thanks to Jolynn, we've added an additional element to the start of our meetings over the last month: a one-card tarot reading. Now, I like to believe I hold a fair amount of healthy skepticism, but I am also committed to remaining open to the mystery. Which is good, because so far every card that we have pulled has borne an eerily correct vision of what our week ahead holds for us. Last Tuesday, we pulled the Knight of Pentacles. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the art of tarot reading, that means diligence, hard work, determination, steadfastness, material security, safety, and finally, expansion. A deeper dive on it could be summarized by saying realization of reward for past hard work. What a fortuitous card to pull on the week that we celebrate such a significant anniversary in this congregation, and the week that I am beginning to talk about the future of this church. I love the idea that the mysteries of our universe are saying to us, "Hurrah, community of FUUN, for all your hard work. Now you may enjoy the fruits of your labor." And labor you have done. We have spent the last month engaging in a thoughtful review of the successes and challenges this community has experienced over the last 75 years. We've heard stories from past and current members, seen many pictures of happy memories, and learned nuggets of information that even the most informed senior member may have missed. With all that we have learned, it is still impossible to truly grasp the breadth of the impact this congregation has made, both in Nashville and in the lives of its membership. And I can guess at how much this membership has meant to you all, because starting, growing, and maintaining a church like FUUN requires several generations of devoted leaders and volunteers. It's my hope that our collective trip down memory lane has helped to cement, especially for those of you like me who are newer here, a sense of gratitude for the almost Herculean efforts of those early and current members who have made this congregation into what it is now. I hope that as we continue to reflect on the legacy of FUUN, we can speak often of our sincere appreciation for those who sacrificed so much of their time, talent, and treasure as they poured themselves into creating a place that each of us has such affection for. And so here we are at the present. Like the Knight of Pentacles described, we are in a moment of celebration where we can look upon the roots and branches of the tree our beloved founders planted, lo, those many years ago. See how firm and healthy it is. Thanks to our continuous tending, and we can harvest the fruit now formed amongst the leaves. Look around you. How many here do you count amongst your dearest friends? How has your spirit grown, your mind ignited, your heart expanded since you began your membership and attendance here? How, like Carlene shared with us earlier in her moment of reflection, has this congregation's commitment to justice encouraged you to live your life, live your faith and values in the broader world? Your answers to these questions are the fruit we are invited to enjoy. Now, while we mustn't become mired by our attachment to history and tradition in a way that hinders us from moving forward, reflecting upon it is essential, because without knowing where we came from, it is impossible really to grasp where we are called to go next. And I know I have only just gotten here, but I am so excited about where we are headed. I am joined by your excitement too, because I have personally witnessed the twinkle in so many of your eyes as you talk about what you envision for the next 75 years. Just as we enjoy the spoils of the last few decades, we are entering into a time of envisioning what can be. A time in which we can ask ourselves, what fruits will we nurture into being next? Who do we want to be? What do we wish to be known for now and in the future? And what will it take for us to achieve that vision? Engineer and inventor Charles Kettering said, "Our imagination is the only limit to what we can hope to have in the future." Nothing radical, nothing transformational, nothing awe-inducing has ever been created by limiting ourselves to what we see as a reality. Now, I will add the caveat for the sake of the Finance Committee here, at least not in the initial stages. For those of you who have ever done visioning workshops, you know that a vision statement is that organization's greatest hope put into an inspiring statement. It should be something just out of reach so that the organization is continuously striving towards it. It should be just strategic enough to know its ultimate purpose and complement the mission which outlines the steps required to reach that vision. But no vision can become reality if it does not begin with a period of unfettered dreaming. I wonder if those individuals who founded this congregation ever sat down and just dreamed collectively about where we would be in this moment. Did they envision a sanctuary that could fit 225 when they were still small enough to worship in the fireside room? Did they imagine calling their sixth settled minister while working to call their first? Did they imagine television screens and a digital hymn book when designing this gorgeous space? Or a children's faith development program so robust they need their own house when they were operating out of the third floor in that initial building? Perhaps. Maybe not the television screens. But they had to have some hazy idea of what they were working towards, some distant love for the people who would come after them. I feel that love when I look at our history. They had to envision a future in which their labor would be appreciated by congregants several generations after them. And so when we close our eyes and we think of the next 75 years, we're not just thinking about what the building and grounds will look like, though. That is very exciting to think about. We are thinking about what those congregants 75 years in the future will be grateful to us for having maintained or newly created. What will make those future congregants look back at this time and say, wow, they really loved us. Those people in 2025 were going through so much turbulence, but they took the time to think of us, to plant the fruits that we now harvest. And thus reveals the heart of what we must remind ourselves of today and as we move forward. We are not beholden to the vision of our ancestors as much as we are asked to envision the hopes and needs of our descendants. To ask ourselves, what are the challenges they may face in the future? And what will this spiritual community need to be in order to meet those challenges? So let us think for a moment together of what our greatest hopes for the next 75 years might be. If there were no barriers in the way, if you could manifest your vision into being, what would fun look like? Maybe there's a beautiful and fully accessible playground for your great-great-grandchildren to play on after worship. Maybe there's a new, gorgeous LEED certified building. A sanctuary that is an homage to this historic one, and it's filled to capacity every Sunday, overflowing even. And Zoom isn't a thing because surely we have got better technology by then. But holographs of virtual members appear, tuning in the hundreds. Maybe FUUN is a place where messages of inspiration, determination, spiritual growth, and justice are shared by a gifted team of ministers, musicians, and lay leaders alike. Maybe the endowment fund is $20 million, and our entire operating budget is funded just by the interest it accrues every single year. And so every dollar we bring in and donate throughout the year goes directly out to serving our neighbors. Yeah, right? Maybe we are known as a beacon of intellectual honesty and compassion, not just in Nashville, but across the state, maybe across the South. Maybe our members return to the days of congregation-wide campouts, but now we have to rent an entire campground because it is so huge and exciting. And our choir is so large that we have to expand the sanctuary to fit all of them on risers. Yeah, right? Just preaching to the choir, right? Maybe our children's programming is so large and well-funded that we have 3 ministers just to lead it. Maybe our marginalized beloveds know that we are the place in this area to come to when they are in need because we prioritize their safety and their thriving. In fact, we become so influential in living out our values that we shift public opinion and thus policy towards greater equity and inclusivity. Maybe we measure our success not in the number of members we have, but by the impact we make in the lives of others, by the ripples of kindness and generosity and justice that we create in this world. Maybe FUUN is full of such a varied and diverse group of individuals that it more closely resembles the city outside of these walls. And maybe, just maybe, the babies that sit in our nursery right now are the very ones serving as president, treasurer, even minister in the year 2100. I told you I get excited about the future of FUUN. But this is just what I've come up with. I want to know what you envision for this congregation. So we're going to do something a little different, and I'm going to invite you, if you have in one sentence, your unfettered dream for what FUUN looks like in 75 years. I want you to stand up, and I want you to say it to me, and I'll repeat it into the microphone. Who wants to go first? Steve.
I envision all of our buildings powered by the sun.
All of our buildings powered by the sun. Ooh, I love it, Steve. Yeah, Gail.
When we take a position on a social issue, it is listened to and enacted on by the state legislature.
Ooh, I'm going to repeat that. When we take a position on a social justice issue, it is listened to and action is taken by the state legislature. May it be so, Gail. Who else? Yeah. More than double the size of this congregation. Love it, Doug. Yeah. All the churches become Unitarian Universalist churches? You know what? I did say unfettered dreaming. I like that. Yeah. The president comes to do our Palmer lecture. Vicki, it hadn't even occurred to me. I love it. Who else? Anyone else? Yeah. Amen. More people her age, being here at that point. Yes, yes. Oh, I love it, this vision. I hope that you continue to share with each other and with me when you find me what your vision is. If maybe you're a little too shy to share or you haven't quite formulated that dream quite yet, thank you for sharing. The next 75 years will take just as much tenacity, hard work, steadfastness, and determination as the first 75 years did. And I am left to wonder, what tarot card will FUUN pull for itself next? And in fact, I took some time this morning to hold that question at hand in my mind. And thanks to Jolynn's help, I pulled that card from the deck and looked up the meaning. Here is the very real card I pulled with Jolynn's help. The 9 of Cups, which symbolizes gifts from the universe. Choosing joy, manifesting dreams, gratitude, abundance, stepping into alignment with purpose, using all of your gifts. In summary, it says, I open my grateful heart to the gifts that are coming my way. I couldn't write that as a better ending. They always seem appropriate, don't they? May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.